So you've decided to go no contact on your ex. Obviously it won't be easy, but it is usually the best option if you want your ex back. But that raises one obvious question. What should you do if your ex reaches out to you first? I'm Brad Browning, author of the X Factor program and YouTube's #1 breakup coach since 2012. As one of the biggest advocates of no contact, I know that it comes with big challenges. So I've really made a video for every no contact scenario that I could possibly think of. And today we're going to talk about something that many people face during no contact, and that is how to respond to texts from your ex, or if you should even respond at all. But before we talk about what you should do, we really need to talk about what not to do. Because, and I say this all the time, at this stage, it's really more about avoiding mistakes than it is about actively trying to engage with your ex. This is actually one of the main reasons to do no contact in the first place. It keeps you away from your ex and it prevents you from making mistakes. And I'm sure that I don't have to tell you that a text message from your ex is a huge opportunity to make a mistake and to screw up your chances with him or her. So to begin, here are the top mistakes that you must avoid when your ex does reach out to you during no contact. So mistake number 1, don't respond too quickly. Now, I know what you're going to say, isn't that kind of juvenile? Do you really have to wait a period of time before responding to your ex's message just so that you don't look desperate? And look, I get why you feel this way. You don't want to play games. You just want to be open and direct with your ex. But the truth is that being upfront, being honest and direct is not going to work in this situation. I've helped tens of thousands of people get their exes back all over the world. And if you did things the way that you wanted, 9 times out of 10, you'd just scare your ex away and you'd ruin any chance that you have of getting them back. So trust me when I say you need to follow the plan and you need to be ready to fight your natural instincts. And in this case, that means not texting your ex back right away. So give it an hour or 2 at the very least. Not only is this going to give off the sense that you actually have better things to do, even if you don't, it'll also give you the time and space that you're going to need to think about what you're going to say. That is, if you actually do respond to them. Because in a lot of situations, you don't actually need to respond to your ex at all. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video. Now let's move on to number 2. Don't compliment your ex. See, being too nice to your ex during this no contact period is a mistake. Not because you don't want your ex to know that you care about them, they probably already know that already. But being nice to your ex hurts your chances because it puts pressure on them to be nice to you. They don't want to be nice to you right now because they're trying to distance themselves from you and set boundaries. So by being overly nice to them, you're basically interfering with that process. They're going to think that you're trying to manipulate them into getting back with you, or even worse, they're probably going to think that you're just pretending like nothing has changed. So whether that means that you're delusional or just don't know how to treat them like an ex really depends on your ex's perception, but neither scenario is great for you. So this just means don't be overly cheery and friendly. And above all, complimenting your ex is out. Number 3, don't ask if they're dating anyone. So if you do want your ex back, you're probably eager to find out whether they're dating again. But really, what do you want to do with this information? Even if they were to tell you, it would probably just drive you crazy. If they are dating shortly after you broke up, that doesn't really necessarily mean anything for your chances of getting them back. So finding out, really shouldn't be a priority for you. And more than that, by asking your ex if they're dating anyone, all you're really doing is hurting your chances. You're showing them that you're obsessing over them, even if you actually think that you're being subtle. You're showing them that you don't respect their boundaries, and you're showing them that a conversation with you is only going to lead to drama or discomfort. So hold your tongue for now because their dating life is really just off limits. And number 4, don't tell them you're dating somebody. So whether or not you are dating someone right now, telling your ex about it directly is going to be another mistake. Now, I know that you might think this is a good idea. Maybe you want to make them jealous. And you also want to dispel that idea that you do want them back. And these are good instincts, but you're not going to get the results you want going about it this way. If you just straight up tell your ex that you're dating somebody new, they're going to be thrown off. They may get upset at you, which is obviously going to lead to more conflict and ruin the conversation. And even if they brush it off, it'll be crystal clear that you're telling them for a specific reason. Either you want to get a rise out of them, you're trying to make them jealous, or you want to hurt them. In any case, really, this just doesn't help you get your ex back. It only makes them think less of you. So if you are hoping to let your ex know that you are dating somebody new in order to make them jealous, you really need to be very subtle about it. So watch my video that I made on the covert jealousy technique after this video is over. I'll put a link down in the description below and in the pop-up here. So go and watch that after to learn more about how to safely make your ex jealous. But for now, let's move on to number 5. Don't tell them you miss them. So if you've been watching so far, this one should be probably pretty obvious. But some people are so ruled by their emotions that they really feel that they must share them with their ex, and that tends to be a real problem. So I'll just say it. If you want your ex back, do not tell them that you miss them. Telling them that you miss them, at this stage anyways, is just going to put pressure on them. You're basically asking them to say, "Me too, let's get back together," which is realistically pretty unlikely to happen. So if you're still in no contact, you can't expect them to be on board with that. So that means that they're gonna have to reject you to maintain their boundaries. And this is stressful for your ex and actually pushes the two of you further apart. And on top of that, don't let them see your sadness, your anger, or any other negative emotions. You're trying to be an appealing romantic option for your ex, and nobody wants someone who's down in the dumps. And knowing that the breakup is the cause of these negative feelings is only going to complicate things for your ex. They may think that you blame them for those feelings or that you want an apology. In any case, it really is a bad idea. The next mistake, number 6, don't send a long message. If you do decide to respond, and that is a big if, you need to keep it short and sweet. As I've said, we're trying to avoid desperation here, so don't spam them with a big long paragraph in response to their message, asking how you are, or something like that. And the same goes for sending multiple messages back to back, or sending a delayed message if they don't respond. And avoiding this kind of stuff will help you with number 7 as well, which is don't get drawn into a big serious conversation about the relationship. So if you do decide to message your ex, then do your best not to get drawn into a big long conversation about the relationship, about what went wrong, or really about anything. Because your goal here is to keep it short and sweet. Keep things light and try not to dredge up the past at all. Remember, nerves are raw right now, and as much as you want to, clear the air, there's a very good chance that a conversation like this is going to have explosive results. Conversations like this can be important, but they shouldn't be had until much, much later, like after you've reconciled and started a new relationship together. So now that you know what not to do, it's time to talk about what you should do when your ex does text you during your period of no contact. Now, there's a few things to consider here, but the first rule I have for you is pretty simple, and that is don't freak out. Take your time to read and respond to any message. Don't let your emotions take control and lead you into saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. I know it's easier said than done, but if you can slow down, take a breath, and take your time, then you're going to be just fine. But the real question here is, how should you respond? Or really, should you actually respond at all? Because in most situations where your ex texts you during no contact, you probably shouldn't respond to their message at all. Now, I know this goes against every fiber of your being, but it's truly the right move if you are serious about getting the benefits of no contact. This goes for really any message that doesn't ask a question. For example, I heard that Kenny just got arrested, or, I finally saw Jurassic Park. You were right, it's great. Any stuff like that doesn't require a response. Your ex might not like it, but they're going to understand why you want space right now without you having to actually spell it out for them. And the same goes for any messages about how sad and lonely they are or how much they miss you. And it also goes for generic questions too. So for example, let's say your ex texts you, "What's up?" or "How are you doing?" Now, because this is a direct question, you might feel like you have to respond to them. But the truth is, you can normally safely ignore a message like this during no contact. This is essentially, a nothing message. And so if you are to actually forget about it and not respond at all, your ex isn't going to be shocked or offended. And this will give your ex the sense that, you're busy living your life and you don't have time to be entertaining them. You might even be moving on. And it's also going to tell them that, if they want your attention, they're going to have to do better than that. But there is a little bit of a caveat here. If you don't respond to their message and they keep following up because they're upset or worried about you, then you might need to respond just simply to let them know that you're okay. So just gently let them know that you need space because you're trying to move on, even though that's not obviously really true. This is just to solidify no contact and to prevent them from using you as a shoulder to cry on. And if you want to know why this is important, check out the no contact video that I'll put in the description below. Watch that after this video is over. So as you can tell, the message that your ex sends you really determines whether or not you should actually respond to them during no contact. But whatever the message is, your goal during this time should be to end the conversation and resume no contact as quickly as possible. Now, one situation where you do have to respond to your ex is if there's, pressing business that needs your input. So for example, maybe your ex needs you to send them money for the electricity bill, they need to pick up their stuff from their house or pick up the kids from school. Whatever the case, obviously messages like this usually do require a response. Now, don't respond to these within seconds either, but don't go overboard and take too long. Just act normal, give them the information they need, and make arrangements to settle whatever the business is as quickly and as smoothly as possible. And again, don't get drawn into a longer conversation, and don't use it as an opportunity to talk to your ex about anything outside of whatever the business is at hand. But what about messages from your ex that aren't about pressing business, but also aren't, those nothing messages? So for example, maybe they're asking you something very personal about your life, and you know that this isn't just a throwaway text. Now, in a situation like this, you might need to respond to their message with something short and sweet. Basically, you want to send them a message that isn't going to invite any further conversation. So if they ask you a direct question, make sure that your answer doesn't go into details and don't ask them any questions to follow up. Combine this with waiting a few hours or even a full day before responding, and this is going to send the message that you're not really interested in talking with them right now. You're trying to maintain no contact, so if you do show them that you want space, that is a good thing. Now, you're not going to scare them away with a message like this, but you are going to set a boundary and show them that you actually have some self-respect. And then, of course, there are, occasionally life and death situations where you really must respond to your ex, like if they're telling you, they're in the hospital or threatening to hurt themselves or something like that. But obviously, this is pretty rare. Now, if you're having trouble telling, the difference between a text from your ex that you should respond to and one that you shouldn't, I'd love to help you out directly. Just go to breakupbrad.com/coaching after the video's over. You'll learn more about my coaching. I can work with you one-on-one to sort out how and when to respond to any of your ex's messages, and we'll create a plan together to help you get them back as quickly as possible. Again, get all the details and register today at breakupbrad.com/coaching. So really, guys, the takeaway here is to err on the side of not responding to your ex's messages during no contact. There are, as we discussed, situations where you should respond, but be sure to consider the message carefully and take your time to avoid making a mistake. When you do respond, keep it short and sweet and don't keep the conversation going. If they press you, explain to them, that you need space and that you're trying to move on. And that just about does it for this video. I've got lots more on no contact, so check the links below in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment so I know you're out there. Thanks so much for watching. Hope this was helpful. We'll see you next time.